I'm back after a nice vacation. This is Giants Roundup on Wednesday night, September 26th. The Giants lose to the Padres 3-2, lose the series to the Padres, and could not carry the momentum from my birthday last night. That's the real bummer. You can follow on Twitter, join the Cruton and Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, now the Giants have lost 6 out of their last 7 games. And they lose the series to the Friars. Casey Kelly, not too bad on the mound tonight. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. And yes, we finally had a bat sighting from Avital Avelino. He goes 2 for 3 for tonight. Aramis Garcia hits his 4th home run of the night. Was in the squat tonight after only played 12 innings last night. So Ray Black looked better tonight, struck out the side. Pierce Johnson an earned run in 1 inning pitched. Probably the last week we see of Sam Dyson and Hunter Strickland. They both put up scoreless frames. Luis Perdomo, 3 scoreless innings. Brad Wick, a scoreless inning. Miguel Diaz, 2 scoreless innings. Jose Castillo, 2 earned runs. And it started off with a sacrifice by Will Myers. It scored Freddie Galvis. It is 1-0 Friars. Then Jankowski scores on a balk, 2-0. And then Jankowski again with a home run. It's 3-0 Friars. Then Aramis Garcia in the bottom of the 7th with a teaser home run, but that would be too little too late as the Giants would fall 3-2. Now they fall to 73 and 86 on the year. The Friars 64 and 95 on the year. So they're at least probably relieved that they're not going to lose 100 games this year. So that's. But now the Giants will try to play spoiler here to keep their rivals out of the postseason this weekend, as it comes down to a big series against the LA Dodgers. So I'm really excited about that, the possibility of the Giants playing spoiler for the Dodgers. And the Giants will certainly have their best guys up in the rotation for that series. And make a note, Friday night's game will be a NBC Bay Area game, so it will be seen on KNTV, NBC Bay Area in San Francisco, KMAX 31 in Sacramento, KAIL 7.1 in Fresno. And your probables for Friday night will be Madison Bumgarner against Hyunjin Ryu. That should be a really good matchup. And I am really intrigued to see if Yasiel Puig actually plays in this game or not, with the possibility of Puig wearing one. And maybe this is going to get interesting. This could also potentially be the final start of Madison Bumgarner in a Giants jersey. There is a good chance that I think the Giants are going to be open to business this offseason of trading Madison Bumgarner. So this could very likely be the final time we see Bumgarner start in a Giants uniform. And I do think he will be available for the right return in winter meetings this offseason. And as I say, we'll see if we finally see Bumgarner and Yasiel Puig get into a fight in that game, or if Dave Roberts plays his two chicken. Then we have another good matchup on Saturday afternoon, as it will be Clayton Kershaw going up against Derek Rodriguez. This should be a fun game two there. That one's could be another low-scoring pitchers duel. Then they will conclude the season on Sunday. Again, it will be Andy Suarez going up against Walker Buehler. Then after that, the Giants will go golfing, and hopefully the Dodgers will be going golfing after that game on Sunday. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Giants will at least get a couple. They would at least need to win 2 games in this series to really play spoiler. But Colorado right now, controlling its own destiny, they will play. Colorado will play Washington here in the final series of the year. So certainly we could hope to play spoiler on LA and keep them out of the postseason. That would be justice enough for me. Also have, we'll see though if Yasiel Puig gets hit in the ribs or not. I think it will happen at some point in the series. And this could be farewell for a lot of players. This could be the farewell series for Hunter Strickland, Sam Dyson. Certainly 2 guys who may not get tendered next year. Joe Panic, 50-50, he returns next year. So it could get really interesting to see who's going to be back and who's not going to return next year. But one guy who's certainly not going to be back with the Giants next year is Bobby Evans. He was let go on Monday. And that is no surprise that Evans takes the fall. And it looks like Larry Baer is going to make an outside hire at GM. So it's really going to get interesting. I think next year is going to be Bochy is essentially a lame duck next year. Unless the Giants get back to the playoffs, I am thinking Bochy is pretty much a lame duck manager next year. And I think he will be riding off to the sunset. And it could also indicate that the Giants may be ready to rebuild next year. So that may not be such a bad thing either. And it's unlikely they're going to get a Bryce Harper. I don't even know if they can get Patrick Corbin. So we'll see who gets hired to replace Bobby Evans. They could look to go to the other side of the bay with they could go bring it up, certainly bring in a Billy Bean David Force assistant from the Oakland A's. That would be the route I would consider. But I think they're ready to embrace a rebuild. So that's, I don't know how much of a teardown there will be, but it's almost certain that Madison Bumgarner is on the trading block this offseason. That will be up to I've heard Ned Colletti. I would say unlikely with Ned Colletti. Or you could try to raid another general manager, David Force. That would not be a bad idea. Shane Bloom could be an idea. Shane Bloom, that's a one of the assistants over there in Tampa Bay. He's definitely prided on the farm system. That is what the Giants really need to do in this culture change. Is they need to get better with the farm system. They can't continue to be playing in last place every year in AAA and AA and whatnot. They need more of an emphasis on developing talent, so that's a route they could go. Graham Tyler's another option. Matt Ferry could be an option with the New York Yankees. Brandon Taubman would be a guy I would consider. He is the assistant GM of the Houston Astros. And he's 32, so maybe it's time to bring in a young GM. That would not be a bad way of. And he certainly knows and the Astros, they certainly know how to value players and scout talent. So that is maybe to go the Astros model. That could not be a too terribly bad of a route to go. It might mean a couple years of tanking. That's not a bad idea. But I think they're certainly going to start getting on the Saber metrics train and start getting on the analytics. And what it means is we'll see what Sabian's up in the air after next year. And they really want to keep Brian Sabian out of the day-to-day operations. And it almost certainly means Bochy's going to be gone after next season. The new GM will likely get the right to hire his own manager in 2020. And barring a miracle playoff run in 2019, I think this is going to be the Bochy's farewell season. He's definitely deserved the right to finish out his contract. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. But I think Bochy will just simply retire and ride off into the sunset after 2019. But it's just on to the next generation of Giants. And I think yeah, maybe it was a scapegoat move, but I think this is the right route to go. This is what Larry Baer needed to do, start taking responsibility, and this is the beginning of culture change for the Giants. And nobody wants to hear the word tank for 2019, but I think the Giants are I think tanking could be the route to go. And then other news I've got what is for Houston. They have decided to fire Jeff Bannister after a second straight last place finish. That's not a surprise there. I think the name to watch for that managing vacancy could be Mark DeRosa. Houston is definitely going to be, the Texas, they're going to be going through quite a bit of a rebuild next year. They don't have much of a rotation. And I don't think they're going to get the best hire, but maybe they get a guy like Mark DeRosa in there. And we'll see which route the Texas Rangers goes at this point. But Greg Daniels will be making his third hire and that doesn't happen too often for general managers. But we'll see who does replace him, who ultimately does replace Jeff Bannister. That one was not a surprise there. I think that a new voice is needed. And certainly after Sunday, we will have Black Monday coming next week. We will find out which other managers are going to get fired. I think certainly Buck Showalter is going to be out the door in Baltimore. John Gibbons is likely going to be out in Toronto. That's almost a lock. Ned Yost is not returning in Kansas City next year. As we bring this season to a close, let's go to the MLB Roundup for your Wednesday night. In Boston, the Red Sox clobbered the Orioles in the first game of a doubleheader, 19-3. Taking the win, the Price is Right, Davey. 3 earned in 5 innings pitched. And then Ryan Mazinger takes one on the chin, 5 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Andrew Benintendi goes 3 for 6. Just Dingers goes 3 for 5. Hits his 42nd home run on the year. Rafael Devers goes 4 for 5 for Boston. And Mazinger only goes 1/3 of an inning pitch, and this game got so bad that Jace Peterson, the second baseman, comes in to pitch an inning. So it was pretty bad that they just let a position player pitch today. But that was game 1 of a doubleheader. And then in a rain-shortened game in D.C. tonight, the Nationals beat the Marlins 9-3, taking the win. Wander Sudero taking the loss. Wai-Yin Chen. Victor Robles goes 4 for 5. Adrian Sanchez goes 3 for 4. Spencer Keybloom goes 2 for 3. And this was potentially Bryce Harper's last game in D.C. in a Nationals uniform before entering free agency, as they will go to Colorado for the final series of the year against the Rockies. In Toronto, the Blue Jays beat the Astros 3-1, taking the win. Joe Biagini. Taking the losses, Chris Davinsky. In Cincinnati, the Royals beat the Reds 6-1, taking the win. Heath Fillmyer striking out 9 in 7 innings pitched, taking the loss. Cody Reed. In St. Louis, the Brewers beat the Cardinals 2-1, taking the win. Yoelis Chacin taking the loss. Chayton Shreve. And now the Milwaukee Brewers have clinched a playoff berth this year, so congratulations to Milwaukee. Their first playoff berth since 2011. And right now, they are really in a dogfight for the division with Chicago, with them still being a half a game back. But congratulations to Milwaukee for making it to the playoffs this year. In Queens, the Mets blanked the Braves 3-0, taking the win. Jacob deGrom, who might have pitched his final game as a Met, as he could be available in winter meetings. 8 scoreless innings, strikes out 10, taking the losses. Luke Jackson. Michael Conforto goes 2 for 3 for the Mets. And Sean Newcomb strikes out 8 in 5 innings pitched, walked 4, though. That was the bad part there. In Boston, the Orioles beat the Red Sox 10-3, taking the win. Tanner Scott taking the loss. Matt Barnes, 3 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitch in game 2 of a doubleheader. Adam Jones goes 3 for 3 for the Orioles. And Chris Sailing wasn't sailing today. He gave up 3 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings pitched and strikes out 8. Matt Barnes, 3 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Craig Kimbrell, 4 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched for Boston. In Tampa Bay, the Rays beat the Yankees 8-7, taking the win. Yanni Chirinos taking the loss. Masahiro Tanaka. Luke Voigt goes 3 for 5 for the Bombers tonight. Stanek, 3 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Sergio Romo, 4 earned in 1 1/3 innings pitched for Tampa Bay. In Chicago, the Cubs beat the Pirates 7-6, taking the win. Brandon Kinsler taking the loss. Richard Rodriguez. Jose Osuna goes 2 for 3 for the Pirates. Ivan Nova, 6 runs, 5 earned in 4 innings pitched. Carl Edwards Jr., 2 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Justin Wilson, 2/3 of an inning pitched, 2 earned runs for Chicago. In the south side of Chicago, the White Sox lose to the Indians 10-2, taking the win. Shane Bieber. Taking the loss is Jace Fry. Edwin Encarnacion goes 3 for 4. Ryan Burr, 5 earned in 1 inning pitched. Janmar Gomez, 3 earned in 1 2/3 innings pitched for Chicago. Bieber strikes out 9 in 6 innings pitched. Oliver Perez, 2 earned in 2/3 of an inning pitched for Cleveland. In Minnesota, the Twins beat the Tigers 11-4, taking the win. Tyler Duffy taking the loss. Matt Boyd, 6 earned in 3 2/3 innings pitched. Williams Astudillo goes 3 for 5 for the Twins. James McCann goes 2 for 3 for the Tigers. In Colorado, the Broncos blank the Eagles 14-0, taking the win. German Marquez, who strikes out 11 in 7 innings pitched. Nick Pivetta takes the loss, 6 earned in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Trevor Story goes 3 for 4. Carlos Gonzalez goes 2 for 3. Story hits his 34th home run of the season. Victor Arano, 3 earned without recording an out. Yaxel Rios, 4 earned in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Philadelphia has lost 7 in a row to fall under 500 on the year. Colorado has won 6 in a row and now will play Washington to finish out the year. In Arizona, the LA Dodgers lose to the Diamondbacks 7-2. Taking the win is Zach Greinke, who strikes out 6 in 6 innings pitched. Taking the loss is Ross Stripling, 3 earned runs in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Bertel Marte goes 2 for 3 for the D-backs. Cody Bellinger goes 2 for 3. Scott Alexander, 3 earned in 2/3 of an inning pitched. In the OC, the Angels beat the Rangers 3-2, taking the win. Jose Alvarez taking the loss. Chris Martin. And in Seattle tonight, our Cross Bay rivals, the Oakland A's, take the win 9-3 over the Seattle Mariners, taking the win. Ryan Buchter taking the loss. King Felix, who goes 4 innings, 4 earned runs, and what could potentially be his last start in Seattle. They could decide to part ways with Felix Hernandez after this season. It wouldn't be a total surprise if he gets bought out after this year. Jason Bradford, 3 earned and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Edwin Jackson walks 5 and 4 1/3 innings pitched. I will say thanks for tuning in tonight. I enjoyed my vacation. I had a great time last night at AT&T Park. That was so fun seeing the Bumgarner walk off in person. That was just great. A great feeling for my birthday. And I was sitting in that section too where they were having that silly chant going on. Where is Renfro? Where is Renfro? He's a bum. He's a bum. So that was kind of fun. It was a great birthday, great dinner at Public House. If you're ever at AT&T Park, definitely have dinner at the Public House. They have great fish and chips. Just visit San Francisco. It is one of the best cities in the world to go take a trip to. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'll be back on air Saturday night. I had a great vacation. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little better. But it was just a great trip to San Francisco. Next time I'll try to pick a place that has working Wi-Fi. But you guys are awesome. Have a great night. And we'll be back, back Saturday afternoon. And hopefully we can play spoiler on those dreaded Dodgers. Good night, everybody.